the second pandemic hits. You have a gym, Revolve Life. It's successful. You're about to celebrate a 7-year anniversary. And you decided to transition everything online right away. Why do that instead of keeping your doors open for when lockdown lifted?
Well, as in the fitness industry, it's really challenging as it is for people to be consistent with their workouts. And that was the number one thing that was my concern, was that I wanted to provide consistency with my members. They had worked so hard. So with the uncertainty of today's times, I had made the announcement with my team backing me up. We decided to move 100% online. And we were able to move quickly. Within a week, we had everyone on our online platform, offering them classes via Zoom, via our web portal, through an app, and without fail, our members have been able to continue with their lifestyle. In fact, since lockdown, many of them have not only been able to keep the weight off, but they have been able to lose weight throughout this pandemic.
You can tell you really love your clients and you've enjoyed staying in contact with them. You lost about 50% of your clientele when you went virtual, but you say now that your reach is even greater than ever.
100%. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, a lot of our members had thought, let's put my membership on hold and let us know when you open your doors. But to this day, unfortunately, a lot of us in the fitness industry have had to shut down. So with that being said, we took the opportunity to expand worldwide. And now we have members all across Canada, from Vancouver. We have some in Calgary, US, and we actually have some members all the way from Kenya, Africa. So we have expanded our reach and we're able to serve so many more women across the world.
Crystal, it's fantastic to meet you. I love meeting people like you who look for the rays of hope and then make things happen. Have a great week.
Thank you.
I am having a hard time breaking bad habits. So that is what I'm going to be talking about today. Specifically, why is it hard to break bad habits? And 2 simple secret tools to help you not only break bad habits, but start new ones. So I see Emily is here. Hello, Emily. I'm so excited for you. Our next challenge is starting on Monday, and I can't wait for you to really get started. So keep typing in the chat box who is here. Make sure that you click on that StreamYard link so I can see your profile, so I know who I'm talking to. And if you guys have any questions, I will definitely answer them at the end of this class, okay? All right, so for those of you who are here, and by the way, if you watch the replay, make sure that you put hashtag replay and make comments and questions, because I always check them later on. Okay, so we all have our own personal weight loss, health, and fitness goals. Yes or yes? Yes. Right? We all have a reason. So maybe, your reason is you no longer want to feel winded when you walk up a flight of stairs. Maybe you want to feel comfortable in your own skin, which means looking in the mirror and absolutely loving what you see. Maybe it's energy that you need because you are just so sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And, when your kids want to play or when your teens actually want to hang out with you, you're tired. You really have nothing left to give. And you end up being in the sidelines and not participating fully. Maybe, you're currently feeling embarrassed because since the pandemic, you've put on a lot of weight and you want to start socializing again, or that you will start socializing again once this pandemic is lifted, but you don't want to feel embarrassed seeing your friends face to face. Right? And even before seeing them, maybe none of your clothes in your closet currently fit. Okay. Because right now, in the comfort of our own homes, while businesses and opportunities to get together are limited, it's really easy to lose track when you're wearing loose clothing, like workout clothing, or maybe you're in your PJs all day, right? No judgment here. But what I'm saying is, that one day you're going to be going out again, socializing, and you're either feeling embarrassed, you don't want to show your face in front of your friends, or you have nothing to wear, right? Or maybe there are vacations that have been put on hold, which require an activity or maybe even, beach wear, and you can't even think about either of those, right? So whatever your reason is to want to lose weight, to get healthy, and to get fit, I want you to think about that reason while I'm teaching this lesson about breaking bad habits and creating new ones. So I want to be clear. I want to clarify that your goals, so whatever your goals are, right? Exactly. When was the last time you ever wore button pants, right? Because who wants to feel uncomfortable with like their love handles hanging out, bulging out? No, we're all into yoga pants. We're all into jogging pants. I get that. But what that is, that particular goal, that is actually a problem that we need to solve, isn't it? All goals are problems. What they are problems that we want to solve. So when you think about that, when you think about our goals needing our goals being problems that we want to solve, we need to fix those problems. How? By creating the right habits and by breaking the ones that are holding us back, right? We need to fix those problems. So if you know that your end result, and I'm going to use that button pants. So imagine you have a pair of, let's call them skinny jeans. Okay. So imagine you have a pair of skinny jeans that you absolutely love. You've been holding on to them. And that is your goal. That is your why, is that when you fit into those skinny jeans, it symbolizes you feeling fit, fabulous, being able to rock whatever it is in your closet and you feel good. And when it comes to socializing with your girlfriends again, like they will respond like, wow, what happened to you? You look amazing. That's what those skinny jeans represent. Okay. Now, the problem is there are bad habits that are preventing you from squeezing your tush into those skinny jeans, right? And that another problem is that you have not developed the good habits or are consistent enough with those good habits, right? We have not been able to replace the bad habits with the good ones. Now, we all know what the definition of insanity is, right? The definition of insanity is, put it in the chat box if you know what it is. It's this, right? Doing the same thing over and over and over, and really, it's nauseating. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So if your goal is to get into those skinny jeans because it represents confidence for you, then you got to think about, okay, what am I doing on a daily basis that obviously is insane? You know, you can think about fitting into those jeans all day long, but it's your actions. Your actions are not, conducive to getting yourself into those jeans, right? It's amazing because what we as humans can do is amazing, but what we usually do is disappointing. I'm going to say that again. What you and I as human beings can do is amazing. But what we usually do is disappointing. And it's not that we're incapable. We're not. We absolutely can do all the things. But we are normally attached to the fear of being uncomfortable or the fear of failing again, right? Those, as you all know, those automatic negative thoughts, those creepy crawly ants, right? Our negative mindset are so attached to feeling like I don't want to be uncomfortable. They're so attached and afraid of failure, because you've done all the things and nothing worked. We're so attached to that. Like we've convinced ourselves that we're not capable, but I'm telling you right now, you are. It starts with a mindset shift. For example, and I taught this during the Whoop, right? And I want you guys to participate. Okay, Facebook user, I love you. You're quoting, but click on that link so that I know who that is, or at least type in your name so I know who I'm talking to. Okay, on last Saturday during the Whoop, before I taught the Pilates, Fusion, and Anything But class, I asked you, before you work out, if you've never worked out before, okay, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And for my ladies who are here, who are already regular exercisers, before you became that person and you're brand new to working out, okay, what thoughts come into your head when you think about working out? What are you thinking if you are brand new to exercising? You have no idea what to expect. Like, what is it that you're thinking in your head before you even start an exercise routine? Maybe, before you worked with a personal trainer or before you got a membership at a gym. Like, what thoughts crossed your mind when it came to actually working out, like before working out, literally? I would love to know. Type in the chat box. Now, some of our ladies who participated on Saturday said they were scared because they didn't know what to expect. They were afraid of hurting themselves because they never worked out before. They were afraid of feeling sore, right? Or maybe they tried working out before and they injured themselves, so they were afraid of hurting themselves because maybe they have like an injury already that they're afraid of igniting again. Or, thank you. Another quote here is, I'm going to look silly or stupid. I don't know what I'm doing. So you're afraid of being judged, right? Coach Lean says it's going to be hard. So you see all of those negative thoughts. Those negative thoughts, they're fearful, aren't they? Those doubtful thoughts, they're causing fear and anxiety in your body. And you haven't even started to work out yet. So you are already manifesting those like anxious feelings, like your heart's beating and you're like already sweating because you can't, like, the thought of being embarrassed and looking stupid because you don't know what you're doing, or the thought of feeling sore, or the thought of injuring or re-injuring, maybe you have already a low back problem or a knee problem or a shoulder, and you're already nervous about hurting yourself. You're already feeling those anxiety, that anxiety. You are already manifesting that in your body. So of course, you are not going to break the habit of procrastinating. You're going to procrastinate because when you procrastinate, you are ensuring that you stay in your comfort zone. Does that make sense? You know that whole saying, magic happens outside of the comfort zone? So inside this circle is feeling comfortable. What does that mean? It means, not exercising, right? It means putting your feet up after a long day at work instead of putting on your running shoes. It means staying in your comfy bed when the alarm goes off at 6 a.m. because you know that you have a really busy day and that's the only time you're going to have to work out. Staying here in that comfort zone, that's what procrastination does. It's like, oh, it's okay. It's like almost like comforting you, right? It's so interesting that our sin natures, our excuses, those automatic negative thoughts, their job is to make you stay inside your comfort zone. That's their job. And you've encouraged it because you're thinking those thoughts, you're feeling those emotions, and now those physical symptoms of fear feel real. And you're like, there's no way I'm going to work out because I'm so afraid, right? It feels real. How do you do something when you don't, how do you do something, right? When you already don't feel like it and it feels overwhelming and you're feeling fear and you're feeling anxiety, right? Because that can happen. Say for example, you're trying to break the bad habit of smoking, right? But in your mind, you're like, I need it. I need that smoke. And inside, your heart's beating, you're perspiring, and you're like, I need it, right? It's the same thing. Or when you're wanting to make a good habit, it's similar too. Because exercise is a good habit that you're trying to be consistent in, but you're already creating that fear around it, right? So what I want to share with you are 2 simple tools that you can do immediately when you are trying to break a bad habit or to practice a new one consistently enough so that you can finally break through those initial barriers of feeling uncomfortable and unbearable. Remember that? I taught that in the Whoop, where when you're trying to develop new habits and trying to break bad habits, at first it's going to be incredibly unbearable, at least for the first 10 days. Okay. And when we think about exercising, okay, when we think about exercising, you need to exercise consistently, minimum, 2-3 times a week for at least, a good 3 months to see any results. So that's how consistent you have to be. But when you think about it, that's quite a long time of it feeling unbearable. And most women, they give up way too soon. The moment they feel sore, oh, I'm too sore today, I'm not going to work out. Who's ever said that before? Hello, right? So there are 2 simple tools that you can do immediately when you're trying to break a bad habit or practice new ones consistently. Okay? Number 1. Now, some of you already learned this inside the Whoop, but it's worth mentioning it again if you are still not practicing it. And it's called the 5-second rule, right? This was created by Mel Robbins. She is a motivational speaker, and she herself, there was a time in her life where she was absolutely miserable. She was depressed. She was not working. Her husband was in the brink of going bankrupt with his business. She was an alcoholic, and because her bad habit of pressing the snooze button 10 million times would cause her to wake up late. Therefore, her kids would be late for school. Therefore, her kids would resent her. Therefore, she was just a big mess. Okay. Who's done that before? Hit the snooze button 5 million times, right? And what had happened was she watched a rocket ship take off. And before it did, she heard the control room count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. And she thought to herself, you know what? What if tomorrow morning, when I hear my alarm, I say to myself in my head, as though I'm hearing that man in the control room count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I blast out of my bed. And guess what? The next morning, it worked. She literally got out of bed. She didn't even hit the snooze button. She jumped out of bed and got her day rolling. And she's like, okay, that could have been a fluke. Let me try that again. She did it the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. And then she started doing it on other habits that she was trying to break and other habits she was trying to make. And that's how the 5-second rule was born. And she started to share it because she's like, wow, it would be really selfish of me to keep this amazing tool to myself. So she started teaching this tool. So that is tool number 1. Okay. The second tool actually was born out of a Harvard study where they did a test using what they call power positions. Okay. So if you're watching right now, I can't see you, but I want you to play along with me. I want you to stand on your feet, literally stand up like right now. Are you standing? You better be standing. Okay. It's going to take 5 seconds. Stand on your feet, put your hands on your hips like this. Put your hands on your hips and stand firm with your feet a little wider than your hips. Keep your chest lifted and your shoulders back. That is what Harvard called a power position. And so if you were to take that position before you are going to work out, when you are starting to feel that dread or fear or anxiety in you, or you take that power position before you want to, eat that thing that you shouldn't, and you breathe deeply for 2 minutes, what the science showed was that you increase your testosterone levels by 20%, both male and female. You'll drop the stress hormone called cortisol by 22%, and you're 33% more likely to take action, inspired action, right? Which you wouldn't have done before if you were still in that feeling of anxiety, of like fear. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to work out. What if they laugh at me? Imagine you're about to go to the gym, right? And those feelings start to creep in and you're about to open that door. But for a second, it doesn't have to be for a full 2 minutes. It's just taking that stance and just being like, and feeling powerful in that position. You take a deep breath and you think of the outcome. Why do I want to work out? We listed all those reasons at the beginning of this session. Because I want to fit in those skinny jeans, because those skinny jeans represent confidence. And you stand there in that position, you take a deep breath in, and boom, take that 5-second rule, combine these 2 rules together, boom, and you take inspired action. The 5 seconds, within that 5 seconds, when you take that power stance at the same time, within those 5 seconds, what you're doing is you're telling that voice in your head that says, I don't feel like it, you don't give it a chance. That's what you're doing. You're like, you're cutting it off. You're cutting it off when you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you take that stance. That is what you're doing. You're cutting off that negative thought. You combine those 2 tools, you can break any habit, and you can create and be consistent with the habits that are going to help you achieve your weight loss, health, and fitness goal. Okay? Simple, but not easy, right? Simple, but not easy. Now, I want to take this opportunity, okay? I want to firstly congratulate all of you who participated in last week's Whoop. We have a handful of you who have whose applications were approved and are now getting ready for our first challenge starting on Monday. I'm super excited for you guys. Emily being one of them. Round of applause. So listen, we've been getting feedback from all of you. Okay. And some of you have been reaching out to your accountability coach saying things like, Coach Pat, I missed, session 3. I missed session 4. Can I know everything was taken down. Can I still get access to them? Well, we've got amazing news. Okay. Because we've been getting emails and DMs from a lot of you saying, I missed this because of work responsibilities. I missed this because my kid was sick. I missed this for whatever unforeseen event. So what we are going to do is we are going to replay all of the Whoop sessions next week, starting on Monday. On Monday, we are going to play session number 1, which is W, your why. Why do you want to lose weight? At 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Session 2, we're going to play at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's on Monday. Then on Tuesday, we're going to play session 3 at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and session 4 at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. So all 4 sessions will be crammed in those 2 days. So you have a chance to catch up. Or if you missed all the sessions altogether, this is now your chance to do a quick binge, because the Whoop workshop was chock full of amazing tools to help you break your self-sabotage barriers, just like what I taught today, but in more detail. And then on Wednesday at, I believe, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have my guest panel that I interviewed. You're going to see their answers. And this guest panel consists of R3 coaches, R3 members who just are new to our program. They literally came from either our Whoop in December or our Whoop in October, and current members who have been with us over a year. And they're answering questions. They're answering our frequently asked questions, and they're going to be there to truly inspire you. And then that evening, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be going live right here to answer any more questions you may have and to wrap up the replays of the Whoop. Okay? So this is all for you. This is because we've listened to you. We understand that life happens, and we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to miss any session, to watch any sessions that you've missed, or to watch all 4 so that you can catch up and get all the tools that you had, that unfortunately that you missed during last week. Okay? So it's been an honor to serve you. Make sure that when you watch this replay, put #replay. You have any questions, post that. And with those details in regards to the replay, we sent out an email. So check your email, because it could have landed in your junk box or in your spam box, and it has the full schedule there. And in our banner, I'll also change the banner with the schedule for next week. So that starts on Monday, replays of the Whoop for you guys. We listen to your feedback, so we're going to bring it back, and you get the replays up until Thursday at midnight. Everything comes down. So you have a few days to catch up. It's been awesome, guys. I look forward to seeing what your answers are on the next week Wednesday poll. And that is, of course, what we'll talk about during Coffee Talk. It's been an honor serving you. Renew, refresh, restore your mind, body, and spirit with us here at R3. Have an amazing afternoon. Bye, guys.